On the win, considering that, you know, this top four race is so tight, how priceless is that victory today?
Well, every victory obviously is a step forward. We know that we had to recover the ground that we lost, and to be fair, tonight was a very good performance. Everton, they were getting very good results. Obviously, we know that they were a tough team, but the team worked perfectly. We played as a team without the ball, and obviously it's very pleasant to see the team fighting without the ball, and after the quality, I think we could score even more goals.
9 clean sheets in 11 now under Thomas Tuchel. That's coincided with you coming back in the team as well. What is different in this side at the moment? What is behind that defensive solidity? Is it you?
No, I'm a part of the team that is working very hard, since the striker to the goalkeeper. Everybody is doing the dirty job, and if you see the way we fight for the ball, the way the strikers, they press the ball and allows the defenders to push the line high, obviously it's less dangerous, and I'm very happy with that, because the effort, when you are in the Premier League, you need the effort from everybody. We know how tough it is to replicate it every 3 days. So we are in the right way, but as I said before, we are still far from where we want to be. We are in the right path, but we have to keep working, because we didn't do anything yet.
Today the manager made 5 changes, but you still managed to grind out the result against a very good, as you say, Everton side. What does that sort of healthy competition do for the side, with everyone fighting for their place, keeping their standards high in every single game? It feels as though he can change the lineup, he can change even the system if he wants to, but you all still seem to work together and find that formula to win.
Well, that's a collective mindset. When everybody is working hard, is fighting for the place. When you are playing for Chelsea, is the top club in the world, and you have to fight for your place. There is nothing easy, and when you step on the pitch, the manager gives you the chance. You have to be at your best, and in every training session, even when you don't play the day after, the guys, everybody train very hard, and that's why I think when the changes comes in, everybody's ready for it. We have the same idea. We play collectively. Sometimes we adapt to different system, in the same system, different players, which it means there is a different style of play. But the most important thing is that we are thinking in the same way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We'll see when we go into it. It was slack marking for me from Everton, but you have to say Callum Hudson-Odoi, who's been quite impressive. Anything that's going to happen from Chelsea, it's looked like it's going to come from him. He's been very lively. And then there you see the deflection off Ben Godfrey's unfortunate. But when you look at it here, Mason Holgate goes in with him. But the thing what he does now is that once he loses, he doesn't get back into the hole. So it gives Iwobi a problem, because now Iwobi's worried about Alonso. He has to pass him on because he's now worried about Hudson-Odoi coming. So he's left him. Mason Holgate's still not got in. And once that happens, then you see Michael Keane. He has to leave Kai Havertz because he's got to come across to Alonso. And then, you know, that's where you get a bit of luck coming off of Ben Godfrey. But it could have been avoided. But like again, you know, I think Chelsea deserved to be in front.
I think Michael Keane there as well has got to be screaming at Holgate not to go, because as soon as he goes, he leaves that gap. And as we saw, you know, they made the most of that opportunity. But I think Michael Keane, I'm not saying it's his fault, but he's got to be calling Holgate. As soon as Holgate goes, he has to win that ball.
He's petrified of Callum Hudson-Odoi by the looks of things. He literally is following him in. Yeah. He's petrified of him.
He's been brilliant this half, Hudson-Odoi.
Well, let's talk about another player that you picked out, actually, in our pre-show. Christensen, impressed once again?
Yeah, he's been brilliant. I mentioned him before the show, and I'm a big fan of his, but I think his distribution, you know, he's looking to get this ball into the midfield area as quick as he can. But I still think Sigurdsson's got to close him down there. That's a really good ball. That's the kind of ball I'd like to receive in there. And then here, he's 1v1, and at this point, you're looking at Richarlison to go towards goal, but he's read the game really well there. And I highlighted him before the game because I think he's very comfortable on the ball. I still think the Everton players have got to close him down a little bit quicker, and that's a fantastic ball to Alonso. Really good tackle there from Michael Keane, and a good save from Nick Pickford, because in this position here, we saw before the game when he scored that goal, and Alonso's very good at going forward, but that's a really good tackle from Keane, and Jordan Pickford was going one way, and he's got a really strong hand down there.
Overall, your thoughts on Chelsea in this first half?
Yeah, I think, like I say, they deserved the 1-0 lead. But I'm a bit disappointed with Everton, if I'm being totally honest. But I expected Chelsea to have the possession they're having, but I just thought Everton would be a little bit more ruthless, knowing that they probably trained for them to have the ball, but they're just not ruthless enough when they do get the turnover. They're nowhere near it.
And generally, watching Everton in this first half, the distribution has been pretty poor.
Well, what's happened is they've getting, like I said, they haven't had a lot of the ball. So when you get into a situation like this, you've got Calvert-Lewin, good header over the ball, Richarlison, a good header over the ball. That's a poor ball in from Iwobi. And this situation here, once it gets to Richarlison here, you've got Calvert-Lewin, he's showing just not on the same frequency. So he just gives it away so easily after not having the ball for so long. Brilliant from Allen. They get a ball in a situation where you think, right, let's see what we can do. Look, quick, nothing up front. He's got to turn around. Richarlison's too far away. He should be closer to Eriksen. So then Calvert-Lewin can maybe play it into him. Then he gets on the shoulder, poor touch.
I think they've come with a game plan as well to sit off of Chelsea, but they definitely need to make the most of when they have the ball.
Absolutely.
Not a lot of unforced errors, very poor quality in the final third. And I think, as I just said, they've sat off of them. But when they do get the ball, they're not going to get many opportunities in this game. So when they get it in the final third, they're going to have to make the most of it.
So what does Ancelotti then need to change in this second half to get some sort of difference out of his team?
I don't think it's what he needs to change. I just think they need to switch on a bit more, knowing that, OK, we've got to take our chances like we saw on the halfway line there, then winning the ball, Allen winning the ball. They've just got to be sharper on that because at the moment Chelsea are very comfortable. And if they're not careful, and Chelsea will score again early, then the game's over. They've got to take advantage when they win the ball, and then they've got to be more ruthless when they're in the last third.
But right now, I'm sure Thomas Tuchel will be having a really good half-time team talk. He'll want them to build on that first half.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, I want a little bit more from Kai Havertz and I want a little bit more from Timo Werner. I think, you know, people talk about price tags. It's not really about that. It's about their productivity on the pitch. And I think I don't want to be sitting here, you know, it shouldn't have even been an own goal. It should have already been in the back of net from Havertz. And I just want to see a little bit more conviction from him. But Timo Werner's penetrating through the middle, doesn't really get the ball that much. And I spoke about that before the game. You could go hunting for the ball and be in out of position. But I just want to see a little bit more from Kai Havertz and Werner.
Right. Well, the question is, will we see more from him?
Yeah, Thomas Tuchel certainly keeping the players on their toes, really using that squad. And let's have a look at how Chelsea took the lead tonight. It was an own goal, but Kai Havertz very much involved in that opening goal.
Yeah, Havertz was involved in everything good tonight. His movement was very good. You see here, Holgate's gone in with Hudson-Odoi. I question whether Holgate should sprint back into position there to allow Alonso in the space. But Havertz, good run. Good contact on the ball that then obviously deflects off Godfrey, but that initially came from Iwobi, letting Alonso run off the back of him. Holgate probably not sprinting in to get back into position. Good start for Chelsea. And from then on, to be honest, I think Havertz's movement, Havertz and Werner in those little 10 pockets, they really started to dictate the game, particularly in the second half.
Yeah, they really dominated, and Havertz winning the penalty as well. Faye for that second goal. Pickford taking him down, a clear penalty.
Yeah, I think so. It's a great ball in by Kovacic. No pressure on the ball, but there he just uses his pace and gets through. And Pickford has to come out, but you see he doesn't get the ball, and he's almost played for that as well, for the penalty. But then I think we always knew it was going to be a goal when this guy steps up, and I think that's, like you said, his sixth penalty. But yeah, Havertz was it grew into the game, didn't he? In the second half, he started to come off and get possession deep, but then also spin and link up the play really well.
It's his first start since Tuchel's first game in charge. He really took the opportunity tonight.
Yeah, he had to. We said before the game, we don't know yet what his best position is. Is it number 10? Is it sort of off the wing? Is it as a false 9? But today, you see here, he's getting into those little pockets, linking up with Werner. Just really clever play. Here he's coming in from the wing, running in. Again, when he's out wide, Werner's in the middle. This was clever here because, again, he's just playing in that sort of number 10 role, that false 9 role, that give and go. Just clever play for Chelsea, great link-up play. And you saw on the goal as well, he's running behind, playing off the back shoulder. So I think he's given Tuchel a lot to think about. You've got people like Giroud on the bench as well, who've done very well this season. There's a lot of competition up front. Werner today, I think, should have scored. You know, he's got to get in on the goals as well. But a lot of good competition up front for Chelsea, which is healthy. Yeah, we really haven't seen his full potential. He's had a bit of bad luck on the way as well. Do you think once that's unleashed, it's a really exciting prospect for Chelsea fans?
Yeah, I think so. He showed, in flashes what he can do today. And he's a big player, isn't he? He's come with a big price tag, and I think he's had a good performance. I think it's just the way they linked up. You saw him all over the areas of the field in those clips, and I think he needed that, because I was talking about Frank Lampard was saying that he needed time to really see what he was about, and then he's not had much of an opportunity here, but today he's come on and performed.
And a 5th Premier League clean sheet at home under Tuchel. It's a record in the league. That really gives them a platform, doesn't it?
Well, Azpilicueta said it there. It's a mindset shift. I think Tuchel has come in and, you know, knowing Chelsea, 6 years at Chelsea, I know there's a relentless ruthlessness to win, and that comes with the defensive side of it. It's not all about the fancy attacking play. It's that defensive side as well. Tuchel's brought that in, you know, to get that record 5th clean sheet in a row is exceptional, and it builds confidence in the team, because once you know you're not going to let goals in, then the attacking players can go and play. So it's really, really good mindset shift. We talk about the counter press as well that Tuchel's brought in. I think Chelsea are flying now. They've got momentum.
Yeah.